busy guy. These deals, fast and furious. Tell us about Broadcom. Ryan, what'd you find out?
Yeah, sure. Good to see you, Carol, as always.
Yeah.
I think this one is, if this, if this comes to light, comes to pass, this would be among the largest that we've seen of this type of deal. I want to just throw us back a little bit to June when we saw Broadcom announce that partnership with Blackstone and Apollo, where essentially they were looking to strike an agreement to provide sort of 20 gigawatts of compute globally for AI deployment. I mean, I think you could probably see this as some kind of extension of that agreement of sorts. This would essentially see Blackstone and Apollo participate again per our sourcing and reporting in a deal that could essentially see Broadcom line up as much as $100 billion in debt. I mean, when you put that together, it's sort of $30 billion being provided by Apollo and Blackstone, and then Broadcom itself essentially looking at maybe backstopping / guaranteeing somewhere in the region of $60 to $70 billion per sourcing. So not insignificant. And I think this is kind of, where the trend is sort of heading right now, which is just this insatiable need for AI compute, to use the jargon.
And I will just say, the market takes it, or we'll see, right? Like ultimately, that's what we continue to watch if there's the investor appetite. But as we talked earlier at the beginning of our broadcast with Ira Jersey and Michael McKenzie, investors are offering these corporate offerings for debt are higher than what you're seeing maybe in treasuries, and potentially crowding out increasingly the interest, I should say, when it comes to treasury demand.
Yeah, Ryan, I mean, do we have an understanding yet of like what kind of debt this would take form of? I mean, we know that Blackstone and Apollo will be leading the financing, but you have to imagine that they're going to be several different tranches, and they'll be selling this to other institutional investors, right?
Totally, yeah. So, I mean, in the story we just put out that just crossed a short while ago, I mean, I think the best way to probably think about this is that the Blackstone and Apollo piece will be a junior piece, and then the sort of chunk, the slug that Broadcom is looking to, that 60 billion piece, if you will, is going to be, senior secured, and they are out to banks, among others, as part of that group. You would have to expect that there would be a number of banks here that would be looking to help Broadcom with this, because I think, if you think about just the sort of cost of providing something on this scale. I mean, Broadcom is looking to do this as efficiently as possible, and Hock Tan, the CEO of Broadcom, is known for this very, very intricate kind of financial engineering. And in fact, I think Broadcom has become kind of an industry leader in this part of the sort of chips financing space. So, I mean, when you sort of think about this in the round, this is kind of unprecedented, but for if anyone's going to pull this something like this off, this would be Broadcom.
It definitely just shows, right, Ryan, like how expensive it is for these companies to build out all of the AI infrastructure. With that prior deal that Blackstone and Apollo led, it was $35 billion, but it was only to build out capacity for 1 gigawatt, of compute. And in your story here, we're talking about a partnership that could eventually reach 20 gigawatts of compute. So there's going to be a lot more of these, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of the tip of the iceberg. And I think you have to wonder, we sort of single out Anthropic at the top of that story on the Bloomberg, but, there are also going to be other companies that are beneficiaries of this deal. And this will come out in the wash. But I think if you're looking on now, I mean, you think about the agreements that Broadcom has with other companies, including Apple. We throw that out there. They have the accord that they announced earlier this year. I don't want to throw it back there, but I will go there. I mean, do we start to talk about the circular financing thing again? I don't know, perhaps.
I don't know.
But here we are.
And I think this is something we have to watch, right, Ryan? I go back to the interest. I mean, as long as investors are willing to support it, why wouldn't you tap the credit markets or the debt markets and continue with the fundraise? I will say, when we talked to our Mandeep Singh of Bloomberg Intelligence, who looks at the AI spend as a whole, I mean, a lot of the fundamentals seem to continue to be there in terms of backlogs and demand. We saw that on the recent earnings, and a lot of folks anticipate, who are in this sector, mind you, they might be talking their book, expect this to continue for a couple more years.
Yeah, and I think that's probably true. I think you also have to think about this in the context of the NVIDIA transaction that we saw.
Yeah.
That group of CEOs, Goldman, I mean, David Solomon was there, Larry Fink was involved. That group of financing partners sort of coming together for one provider. I mean, now you have a sense to where I think Broadcom's probably going more down the private capital route. I think it's just it's different, right? I think it's two sides of the same coin in a way. I think investors will clearly take a view on sort of the securitization of all of this. I think the NVIDIA agreement itself still has a little bit of, there are a few details there that still need to be sort of fleshed out as far as how you actually securitize those chips as a financing class, an asset class, sorry. But that itself was entirely novel. This is also novel. I think that NVIDIA deal did obviously unnerve a few people, but this is just, I think people are having to think on the fly here as far as this AI financing rollout is concerned.
Right, and maybe it's just a case of it's just so massive that we've got to be innovative, disrupt a little bit, or when you start to innovate or disrupt too much, is it a sign that maybe something's not quite right? And this is what we're all trying to figure out here, but the cap raise is still happening.